As soon as I got my first job, I realized being an employee wasn't for me. I was excited. I was working at a grocery store. I must have been like 16 years old, and I am pumped because I finally get to make my own money. But quickly, I realized things weren't all that they were cracked up to be. It was almost a little humiliating. Maybe I got too much pride, but to me, it was a little humiliating that I had to ask somebody to go use the washroom. But the final straw for me was it was a seniority based job. So the longer you've been there, the less of the crappy jobs you got to do. And there was this brand new kid working at the grocery store, and there was a massive spill in one of the aisles. It was like a dairy spill, like all the milk and eggs and all that stuff. Yogurt was all over the floor. And I get the call to go to the aisle to clean up the mess. And I'm thinking this can't be right because I've been here for a while now. There's about 2 or 3 other people that are lower in seniority than me, so there's no way I should be cleaning this. But the boss told me I had to clean it. I brought up my grievances when it came to the whole seniority issue, and he told me I still had to clean it. At 17 years old, I packed my bags and I walked out. That was my first job experience. After that job, I stayed in the grocery lane and I started working at these warehouses, these food warehouses. That was an interesting time in my life because the money was good, but the environment was toxic. A lot of the dudes were into gambling and drinking and smoking, and their bodies were falling apart from all the hard labor. So I really didn't like that environment. And I watched the older dudes that have been there for a while. I watched them like limp around. Their legs weren't working right. Their bodies were all broken from years of just hauling heavy stuff. And I didn't want that to be me. So then I decided I was going to go work at a gym. I was going to become a personal trainer or even sales. I did a little bit of both. And that was also not my lane either because they made me shave my face. And I look like Caillou when I don't have a beard. I'm a beard fish. This is just to make my face look like it got some angles. But if I shave this off, I got a round head. And they made me shave my face, and that was humiliating as well. It's like, man, I don't even have control over my own facial hair. That's crazy. That was the point where I started thinking, I might need to be an entrepreneur. I might need to work for myself. And I pretty much manifested becoming an entrepreneur by, first of all, researching entrepreneurs, understanding that they read a lot. And then once I found out that they read a lot, I wanted to find the best book to give me the best chances to win at this game of entrepreneurship. I picked up Think and Grow Rich. I picked up this book and I read it. At first, it didn't make sense to me. It sounded like a lot of like spiritual mumbo jumbo. It didn't seem real, but I figured it's been a bestseller for 70, 80 years. People swear by it. So I'm just going to do what it says to do. So it said at first to have a major definite purpose. I decided that my major definite purpose, based on my prior experience being an employee, was to have freedom. I needed to be free. So once I established that, I started to make goals and follow the steps of Think and Grow Rich, major definite purpose, try to find like a mastermind group, all the things that they said in the book to do. I did it. I decided I was going to open up a barbershop. So I got a picture of a guy cutting hair. I cut it out, put it on my wall. I printed out a picture of a barbershop, cut that out, put it on my wall. Then I started writing down my goals every day, what I wanted to do. I wanted to own a barbershop. And I kind of just started doing this every day. I started doing more research on successful entrepreneurs and their habits. And I realized they study a lot. So I started studying barbering. I started doing an hour a day studying barbering, not only just cutting hair, but customer service. I started studying the history of barbering. Most barbers don't even know what the barber pole means, but I knew that. I got all the salon books so I could cross reference between different industries. I did everything I could. And from the day that I picked up a clipper and took barbering seriously, it took me 2 years to open my own business and pretty much gain my freedom. Now, with all that being said, man, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy, but I believe I manifested this because I had a certain amount of energy that I put towards gaining my freedom. By following what was said in the book Think and Grow Rich, I believe that I manifested becoming a entrepreneur and having the ability to kind of call my own shot. At this point today, I sold my barbershop because I found a different way to make some money because I was in a very rich neighborhood, so I cut a lot of millionaires and they put me on game. And so I learned a more efficient way to make money called copywriting. And I do a little bit of marketing as well. I gained my freedom. At this point, I work from home. I come and go as I please. I just went on a vacation. I didn't have to ask for nobody's permission. I just do what I feel like doing at this point. And I'm almost to that maximum level of freedom. I still think there's another level, but this was a manifestation because one, it was a strong, definite purpose. Like the book said, a major definite purpose. I used my will to get me there. The fear of having somebody tell me what to do is what drives me. The fact that I wake up at 3:45 in the morning is not because I just feel like being cool or following the trends of being this hard person. I just feel like if I sleep in and I don't work hard, I'm going to go back to having my destiny controlled by somebody else. You can use fear or a major definite purpose to manifest your situation and whatever it is that you want. Some people try to use positivity to like, I want this and my life is going to be so amazing if I get this. I don't know about you guys, but I'm more motivated by fear. I think most humans are, but we're kind of taught to use positivity and all these fuzzy feelings to get what you want. But you have to really use something that is going to keep you constantly motivated. Matter of fact, that's how I lost weight. I created this imaginary situation in my head where I was on a beach with my wife and I'm looking all out of shape and this jack dude walks by. My wife looks at him and looks at me and I'm there looking like a beluga and homeboy is making me look crazy. That's not a real situation, but I created it in my mind so that I could be motivated to stay in shape, right? So that's how I manifest, and that's how I manifested my way into becoming an entrepreneur and escaping the 9 to 5. I used fear, and I also had a major definite purpose because I didn't want anybody to control my life. Whatever it is you got to use to get you revved up and moving, use it. I would suggest using fear because fear is one of the greatest motivators and you don't have to make it negative. You want to overcome the fear, but at the same time, you don't want to have whatever it is that you fear control your life. Fear could be good, and that's how I manifested escaping the 9 to 5. With all that being said, I hope this gave you some sort of value, and maybe you could use fear or whatever motivates you to get where you want to be at. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.